All right, there's the details you need. And now we're going to get into the game. As we said, the cool thing about this is we could see Ori pop off. At the same time, you mentioned, in retrospect, on the counter-argument, ViCi can have this early push, this potency about them. The other thing I like is when you pick Prophet, is this type of hero, especially as a core, it's a cookie cut kind of one when it comes to the build, right? You can flex different ways. It's not like these offlaners that it's like, okay, if I don't build this item, I don't do my job at all.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, we see more Prophets go with something like Vlad's Medallion, you know, like full utility build in. But
I love the
we'll
idea of
see what
pipe
he
in
goes
this
for.
game, though.
A pipe is definitely good too, like some sort of a pipe, some control afterwards would be amazing for them. Some Hex, Orchid would allow them to kill off Storm or Void much easier. We'll see. But Storm is also a sick hero to play in this match, as you have so many juicy targets that you can jump on top and just blow up on your own even.
You can get punished for supplement in the jungle, though, because you are up against Leshrac. Speaking of which, Leshrac's up top. Disruption. Beautiful save from DY. Should ruin their aggression. Xiaoyu will still get hit up hard, but they shouldn't have the means to kill him anymore. Or will they? Frost is chasing. He decides against it, though. You're in a choke point. Don't risk it.
There aren't many heroes that survive that, but Tidehunter is just way too tanky. Moves back. Shadow Demon messes with them just a little bit more. Just a little bit further, but is forced to go back too. And we'll see how these lanes set up. There is a tri-lane with a Mirana once again on the top lane. As Cube will be the one trying to hit those arrows.
Let's try. This works on both sides. The Mirana can be potent with that Bassi at the same time as the Shadow Shaman. And if you're a little bit out of position, which usually is a Mirana you are because you want to get a decent arrow, they can overwhelm you quickly with this damage between the Shadow Demon, the Tidehunter, and the Shaman.
Tidehunter. There we go. The
arrow connects onto a different target, though, and that's an easier one for them. Disruption to save the day. If they can block him off, though, Shaman will fall. Frost is actually chasing. I feel like this is just go back to hitting the creeps, but they want to give him the first blood.
He can get the first blood here. There we go. Now he can go back and fight those creeps off that you like so much.
Big creep kill.
Get the kills, man. What do you mean go for the creeps?
Well, the supports could have got the kill, and now they're going to get more kills. Blood. Let's go. Shadow Demon doesn't even have the disruption to save. Well, here it comes out. That slow wind-up level 1 Wraith King, we're like, oh, I'm going to get ya.
Yeah, the Anchor Smash does mess with his right-click damage a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Not when you're stunned on the spot for a good 2-3 seconds. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, already slightly building for Ori.
Arrow does connect again. Now Tidehunter is in problems.
He doesn't have the debuff either. He's not going to survive this by the looks of it. Maybe they block him off. The illusions save the day.
The UI planned those illusions perfectly. Told them where to spawn to block out everyone from the Tidehunter.
All right, Flash used another salve. That was a bit awkward, though. He did get cancelled out by PYW.
It's fine. He has a lot of salves to work with. Well, now he has no more.
He had a lot.
He had a lot.
Meanwhile, on the bot lane, how's it looking for Bone? He's off to a decent start, actually. Got some good denies in. Most of them will be from his own little trees, though.
Yeah, Void is actually alright in that lane. You can't really zone him out. With one stout shield, he's more than capable at hitting you back. One-on-one, at least for now, he should be fine. Bone 7 is definitely a very capable Nature's Prophet player, though. And he's had much success with that hero in the past. Looking forward at seeing what he can do right now with it. As Bone 7 in the past is not the same Bone 7 that we are seeing right now.
You reminisce on this a lot. It's true. It's been a long time since Bone has had that opportunity to shine at the top, being at TIs. Maybe Viking can finally do it. Maybe this is the beginning of a long
Still, there's that skill lying somewhere buried deep.
Yeah, just dust off the book, start reading.
He just has to find it. Tap into the potential that he once possessed.
Let's see if Viking can actually find some more kill potential up here. His Cube is ready to arrow. Which is a little bit harder. Now that you got the level 2s on ViCi, they did become pretty formidable. There's the spam out with the poison. You can already see PYW is holding on to a point. It's like, do I go for the shackles here? And meanwhile, the mid lane, which has been mostly calm, is getting a little bit more concerning for Mastermind now, as Ori is building a lead, and you know he can supplement in the jungle quicker. And I'm also concerned, if Mastermind doesn't max out the Diabolic Edict, I don't know if you can even punish that greed that Storm Spirit sometimes does by going off the jungle.
We might see like 2 levels in it.
2-2-2?
We'll see. Bottom lane, we see a lot of damage taken by Bone 7 too.
Yeah, but there's a lot of creeps, so Eurus has to back up. And Illusion is claimed, but Cube, he sees no arrow opportunity. Probably the worst nightmare for a Mirana rotating mid is an Illusion rune.
Illusion rune and just standing on this side of the map. It would be much better if he's on the Radiant one, but there is vision on top of him too with that ward. He's pinged out, so this shouldn't be a kill. At the same time, they do see Shadow Shaman, and this might be a kill.
Oh, beautiful arrow. And Mastermind still has the haste, so he can get across in time. Has the split off. And that looks like that'll be a kill from Viking. Getting another one on the board.
Storm
or
is
he
coming
moved across.
1 versus 2, alright.
He's got a mango, actually. He needs to respect Mastermind here. But he's not. He wants to fight up against it. Split up on the spot. Gets him another.
Very, very interesting by Ori. Moves into the two of them, into a Lash with level 2 Diabolic Edict. Alright. That's one way to give Lash an advantage. That's one way to make this game a little bit more interesting.
You gotta respect. Once again, as I said, Mastermind, Storm's one of his heroes. He understands the limitations. If he sees you walk out like that, sure you got a lot of damage, and sure it's close, but he's done the maths. He's a smart horsey.
Yep, moves back into the lane.
Oh, on Bone. Ah, it's a good feeling. No one's down here to take any runes away from you. You can get both of them.
The best thing about Lash right now is the fact that he can dominate the Storm out. The Storm is losing a lot of his HP, you can see. He's forced back, and that's basically because they killed him without any effort before he hit 6. Once he hits 6, obviously it becomes more difficult to take him down, but Tide isn't difficult.
No, he's just a big walking sack of HP, and he is a very sad boy now. As the rotation happens again. Cube, another game where he's looking on point. 1-0-4, involved 100% kill participation up to this point. We'll see if he can continue to shine that beacon of hope for Viking. Lead him to a better tomorrow. And we've already seen Ori move away. The good thing about doing this, of course, is that you can just now stick your support on the lane. The bad thing is you may have given such a big advantage to Leshrac that your support is quite spooked.
Look at Storm already rotating towards bottom. Ori, this is Ori 101. He's not even 6, he needs only 1 creep though, but...
There is a chrono. And there it is. He says, come over, use your remnants. He'll ping him out, it's like, get closer. Arrow through. Turnaround opportunity maybe, but they just need to get Bone out, and they might be able to because there's no bash coming out. Sprout, they've got a Quelling Blade, my friend.
He also gets level 6 there as he's able to clean up a couple of those trees, and even though Cube was there with the arrow, it wasn't good enough as Void was the one that ate it, and Ori is the one that used Electric Vortex onto the Furion to just prevent him from running away. So pretty well played by Ori once again. He just rotates. He's so aggressive early on. He sees an opportunity and he acts upon it instantly.
Oh, they see a farming opportunity. Farm Xiao Yu, who's busy trying to farm creeps. Nice stun coming out. Mastermind does get this kill. Now he wants to connect this tower because that was the thing. In the mid, he didn't double Edict to push tower at all. So there wasn't really any punishment on buildings, which is odd for the
If you think about that last game, you had an OD on the mid lane, and that OD couldn't really do a whole lot early on. It's just the way the hero works. However, Mastermind this time around has a hero that can be very active, and that's the Leshrac, a Mastermind favorite too. One of the heroes that he likes to play quite a lot, so we'll see just how much he'll be able to do as he gets on board. He gets 2 kills to his name, and Storm has 1 as well.
And they haven't de-warded this ward that Viking... You must know this is here after the way that the Wyvern came in that triangle of ViCi Gaming. So you'll still keep that vision for the moment. There we go. And that's kind of why he didn't push on the tower instead, but that's the one time you get that excuse. You're going to have to get rid of tier 1 quickly. If you're a Leshrac, you've got Prophet as well. You're looking to shut down this map quickly before Storm gets to level 12. That's when he gets a little bit scary. In the meantime, Xiao Yu is looking fairly scary. Despite 2 deaths, he's top of the CS, 64.
Yeah, he had a lot of stacks to work with, so he farmed quite well. He also had a decent laning stage. It's not like Raid King dominated. They did kill him a couple of times, but it doesn't really matter. You're an offlane Tide. As long as you're wasting a lot of their time and farming yourself, it's good.
Raid King is feeling pretty good, though. Like, he is top of net worth with a big lead. That is something you have to give credit to and credence. It should mean a much quicker timing on a Midas compared to the Faceless Void. In fact, I wonder, you probably still do go for the Midas. Maybe he just stops off for a Maelstrom instead. Realizes he might have to be active a bit sooner because of the nature of Viking's draft. Whereas for Frost, it's like, boys, just keep making me space. I know what I'm committing to. We've got a Leshrac. I should start to feel the money in my pocket soon.
Yeah, that this Lash should start rotating towards towers. Mid lane is definitely one tower that's a bit more difficult to go for. However, top lane Storm has rotated. And Wraith King is very deep. See.
Is he deep enough? It doesn't look like it.
Not really, considering it's a Wraith King. You don't know if he has that ulti or not to work with.
And you ain't willing to gamble on
He
it
actually
either.
doesn't have it right now,
No.
but they weren't willing to gamble indeed.
They ping at Mastermind. He had this ward. He sees him too late though, surrounding all sides. And that should be an easy kill onto the mid.
That's a very, very deep position for him to be in.
Even with the ward.
Even with the ward, because there's no one, absolutely no one that can help him, even if he finds a target. Like, let's say you find a target there, you're still going to suffer. I think the plan for him was move behind the tier 1 and just use Edict.
Yeah, and
out
just
of
take
range.
it down.
Yeah, take the tower out of range, do the cheese mode, but...
But the likelihood that no one TPs there, it's a high-risk play, and I'm not even sure you get that much damage in. So I need to rethink these strategies. I mean, if Cube was there, it's suddenly a whole different ball game, right? You know, you get the arrow with the stun follow-up, and it's a good kill. Speaking of arrows, there is one on the Shaman, just in time for the runes as well. Cube will walk back to pick it up. The Hex comes out, but it's too late. The PYW does go down. Meme on the top. It looks like it's 2 runes apiece.
We were talking about utility that usually comes from offlaners.
Oh.
Void, just get out. Yep.
He should be fine.
We talked about the utility that comes from offlaners. Usually it's your pipes, your Vlads, your medallions. Bone actually going straight into the Orchid after 2 bracers. If you get Orchid super fast versus these heroes, it can really matter. It can be really good, but it can also backfire hard as your team will not be as strong in fights.
Chrono on to 2. Cube doesn't have the arrow for 5 seconds. Perfect time to strike. Now the wards go down the side as well. Cold Embrace, though, keeps Bone pretty healthy. Disruption to get Frost out of the fight. Ray 5+. The Skelly Bros get him low. Ori has full mana, moves away. Shackles. Bone 7 is gone. Ravage, jump in. Xiao Yu with a backstab opportunity. Buyback comes out. Prophet needs to get involved. Cube dragging them away to the west. And the rest of the team coming in from the east. The stun is good. Mastermind arrives for the fight. Splinter Blaster for out a little bit of damage. Doesn't splash, but does get the kill to Xiao Yu in the end. And Mastermind with the DD can move towards this tower with the assistance of the trees.
Yeah, Storm Spirit TP'd away. They're sacking this tower. They took their fight. They got something out of it, not a whole lot. What did they take? They took down
the big thing
Hunter.
is the buyback, right? But you used Ravage, used Chrono, and you still lose that tower. It's a very good outtake for Viking in the end. And they might have
consider definitely very well played by them. The only problem is Bone 7 that has had to use buyback there, which moves him a bit further away from the Orchid. That's not perfect, but it's still fine. He still has 1,000 gold and is doing really well.
And it's because those double races, it took him so long to bring him down.
Then Arrow connects on the Void. Perfect by Q.
Oh, beautiful. And he's TPing into assist as well. The split off. See ya.
Just give this man some tips, please.
Look at that. A bonus kill coming in, you say. Shadow Demon arrives, and Viking converge with 5.
That arrow from Cube was actually sick. He was standing right here, and he did it like this.
Oh.
And it connected on Void right there. There you go, the tip from Void. When no one of his teammates is good enough to acknowledge the arrow, the Void does it.
You gotta respect this, and it just ramps up. I love what Viking are doing here. After they take one big fight, because there's no one of those big ultimates, they go, okay, we have this hyper-aggressive tower-taking lineup. Let's do that.
I'm just thinking, like, if they had some more utility from Furion, it would be even easier to do these.
Arrow? They won't go for the...
You don't go for the Tide. It would be even easier. Let's say he gets very tanky with Furion. He gives you Crimson, let's say. Suddenly that Chrono does no damage.
This is something I like. I feel like Seb is one of the ones I used to see do this a lot. It is the Crimson Rush on the Prophet. It just makes you unkillable and always present.
Not only you, it helps your teammates so much.
Yes.
And you don't have to worry about the rest awards, you don't have to worry about Faceless Void's Chrono any longer. Suddenly you are actually free to push whenever you want to.
In fact, I think a pipe is just as much value in this type of game, right? You think bashes are magical damage, you've got a Shaman here, the Shadow Demon, even the Storm.
It's not, definitely, it's not as good, but it's almost there.
I think it addresses an earlier point, right?
Get tall, man.
Yeah, just get all the utility.
Shadow Shaman getting a lot of damage from these Ancients that he's farming right now.
With his Serpent Wards. Yeah, we don't see this too often.
Yeah, when you're kind of on the down and you can't use your wards to push, you can at least use them like this to farm the Ancients.
It's definitely smart.
Sometimes you see Shadow Shamans, they use those wards to split push on their own. But most likely what happens is the enemy team just counts defense and eats your wards because you don't stand a chance against them. You're playing from behind.
Also, when are you going to get near tower? Like, this is one of the big things about Vikings draft. They're so quick to push out the lanes and keep the creeps at
They're
your
also
base.
quick at killing watermelons. Let's see if they're quick enough on the top lane.
Well, the split up comes out, and the crack of this watermelon into pieces. Disruption to save him. Bubble in a bubble. Ravage. That's fully defensive, though. He's just going to run for the high hills. You're happy, though. If you're Viking, you were coming in for the tower anyway, and now the Ravage doesn't cool down once more.
Yeah, definitely not the way you want to use that Ravage, but the way you were forced to use it. And now Wraith King is diving a little bit further.
Arrow will be off the mark. Keep got to respect that change in speed, but jumps in anyway. No respect for Xiao Yu. Cuts the trees to move away, and Frost, he's got the Wraithfire Blast. Can't keep the vision, though. Might go for a different target. DY, so he say hello to my little kids. But he doesn't like skeletons. Full lightning, long range. He didn't snipe it. He was trying for the max damage on Flash.
He has Arcane Rune to work with, so it's alright that he's losing some mana. It's not the end
But
of
it's
the
still
road for
level
him.
1 ball lightning.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of mana that he lost. He will have that Kaya now completed as well on Storm Spirit.
And Bone is getting scarily close to this Orchid being complete. And also, the other thing we didn't get a chance to highlight is the comparison between the two cores. Frost, he has to go for the Radiance first. He switched it up. He's going for the Armlet. Because he could have got an amazing timing on the Radiance if he committed to it anyway. Because I was checking on Void, who only just recently got the Midas.
With the Armlet, you can actually start fighting a little bit earlier, right? You have the Armlet, you can start these fights off with the Furion, with the Lash, and there's a lot of early game aggression coming from Viking GG, so I can understand the Armlet definitely.
Well, they are going on a Frost right now. I mean, he will go onto them in return. DY doesn't realize that Flash was behind him. One big crit brings him low and gets the kill, and now chaser for more. Toggle time, PYW waiting in the tree line. They'll chase on the Xiao Yu. The buff's going to be there, but he's being cut off. Does cut through the trees in time. Frost, it missed toggles.
That's...
By the way, look at PYW. No, no, no,
Run,
no.
little Shadow Shaman! He's dead. Yeah,
Pray
that's
to your
definitely
God.
not the way that you wanted to spend your ultimate as a Wraith King, as he falls there. And it's still level 1 ulti, remember, so it's a long cooldown. But they try to go straight into the pit. There is Chrono, and there is Storm that you're working and playing up against, so...
Ravage in 20 seconds as well.
This could be very dangerous for them. Tidehunter will scout them out. He knows what's up pretty much. Shadow Demon will use the Shadow Poison there.
Need to get the Void here soon. He's still pushing on the bot lane, though, and they give up. They're like, nope, we see you're here. This is too risky.
They backed out for Lash to get some more mana to heal up, also to outpush the bottom lane, and after that, perhaps they'll look for a fight once again.
Nice deny by Bone. Make sure that what Void have been working for there doesn't pay off. And the pressure will slow down for a moment, but you have built this armlet. There is, in fact, a different kind of pressure on Viking to make something happen sooner rather than later. And I like that he's decided he's a villain. If he goes for the armlet on the Wraith King, he should be going for the Deso as well. This isn't a switch around build.
Yeah, some Deso, and later on, if you get something like a Basher, you can fight easily. Let's see.
They're in the pit.
Wyvern coming in.
Sprout trapping them inside. The Silence was out in the Void pretty early, so they couldn't do much with it. But Roche is not low enough for ViCi to continue to commit. And the Serpent was down. They feel this need to, though. And Pone, look at him just farming these up. It's like, nope, you can't get through it quick enough if you're a few wards too short. And that should offset them a little. Purge coming out into Bone. They don't want to commit to him. It's still too bulky. They remember what happened last time.
Because of Interwyvern. You have to keep distance until you see where Flash is. He's making this fight extremely difficult for ViCi Gaming.
Look how far back Mastermind is as well.
The moment they see the Winter Wyvern, Storm might jump on top of him, and if they manage to blow him up first, they can take a fight. But Storm is showing on top. This could be... yeah. It's just difficult. It's just difficult to rush to take for both sides. On one side, you have Furion scouting together with the Wyvern. On the other side, you have Storm that's able to zip in, but he doesn't even have to because his boy Shadow Demon, played by DUI, always has that poison to work with, to scout with. And there's Chrono. And if everything else fails...
It's true. And the Chrono Man himself has got an Invis rune, so he will look for the opener for the fight. Problem is, as you said, if he can't see that Wyvern, he can't risk throwing it out.
They know where he is.
He
this
won't
could be
walk up.
problematic as they're converging around their shrine. You can see them doing that right now as they had the sentry and the ward in the river.
But he calmed himself down. He says, actually, it's still a tier 1 tower.
Shadow Shaman will be arrowed.
Connects, long range, Cube moving
Storm
across
is there,
to follow
though.
up as well, and Storm Spirit in between them right now. The Chrono on the side, though, does go into Mastermind, but the damage is too much. He knows it moves away straight away. They do kill off Cube as a result. But the Chrono is now on cooldown for a kill on Mirana, and she'll be up in 30 seconds. Your Chrono has gone for a lot longer. Not the big value they were maybe looking for, but they were forced into that just to keep their man alive.
Yeah, meanwhile, Wraith King is farming mid, bottom lane, it's Tidehunter farming, Tidehunter that ported bottom, so I believe you just say,
Oh,
alright, this is your Rosh, unless Tidehunter starts rotating in.
he's going to be too late now if they walk in the pit. They're hesitant, though.
Yeah, they're super hesitant, but they shouldn't be considering, they saw Tidehunter move bottom.
They should know what's going on here, but instead, they actually wrap around the back of him. They want to kill Xiao Yu. Sprouted in. You haven't got a Quelling Blade. You had it in your backpack. Silence does get purged off instantly, though. A little bit of missed time in there. Mastermind chasing in. Ravage is expended. Now you're happy, actually. You could just go back towards Roche at this point.
They used Chrono, they used Ravage, they used two big ultis very, very defensively, and instantly Viking GG, they go straight into the pit.
DY. We'll just throw out the disruption, but you need to back up. Accept that this is happening, whether you like it or not. Roche should be going the way. And actually, the Silence Void, he's going to get caught here. It's going to get pretty low. We'll be able to time walk away just in time, but Mastermind has to move to proceed with the Yules. The Splitter follow-up as well should ensure that he will fall, despite the time dilation. Nope. One tick was needed, and they're so enough. He's going to stay alive. And Viking, they're wasting a lot of time here when they should be in the pit.
And meanwhile, Storm Spirit snatches the Rune of Regeneration just in front of that Wraith King as he moves into the pit to attack Roche.
Because they were like, I get what they're doing, right? They're like, we kill him and then we'll have the Deso complete, and it makes sense anyway. But just take the easy objective. Don't strain yourself and all the things you have to do in this game.
They're definitely trying to go for more complex options, but when you have Orchid on Nature's Prophet, an attempt for a kill is, it's plausible.
Oh, they catch a kill. Cube will go down, but they've got the Aegis now. Frost doesn't mess up an armor toggle this time. It's all good.
Cube was creating some space there, definitely, as he falls to Storm. But yeah, they get enough space to go and take down Roshan. They got the Aegis, they got Death Zone now flying out to Wraith King too.
Should ramp up pretty rapidly from here. Next time they can just jump on yours and actually blow him up pretty easily. It would be nice to see a Blink Dagger soon on Frost though, because he does have the means to burst into these heroes if you catch him with the initial stun. Chase in, full line coming out. Wyvern dragged back. Does have the Winner's Curse, but they're splitting up enough that he can't use it at all. We'll finally throw it out onto the Storm Spirit. They have got the Ray Fire Blast, arrow through as well. Stack your stuns with the silence there. Storm is dead. Buyback comes out from Wyvern. DY will look to escape, but the Yules is on point, ensuring he will not get out. And they're going to keep hunting. There's another Yules. They're moving in. Split Up's going to come out, and they have the follow-up Ray Fire Blast. This time, Void is going home in a body bag.
Yeah, I just love the way Viking GG are playing. Bone 7 on a triple kill with this Orchid definitely paying off. As that Orchid and 3.7k gold. He could actually have a mini Doom very soon. If he buys that Nullifier before the blink, he could just be a Doom on his own, porting wherever he wants to. And Storm Spirit, that was a good attempt from him to take down Winter Wyvern, and he did it, but at that last hit, he stood in the spot for a bit too long. He got clipped by Winter's Curse. Once you get clipped by Winter's Curse, you're as good as dead. They have way too many spells to follow up with. I believe one mistake was Shadow Demon using that disruption a bit too early there.
Ravage is really early actually, because Storm Spirit is on the return. Wraith King the target, but he's got so many lives to work with. It's not the one you wanted, and Xiao Yu sprouted in, gets caught like this again, but they don't have the damage to follow up. Yes, he's on half HP.
What's happening with ViCi Gaming? They're using these big spells for targets that they shouldn't be using them for.
They're testing their buttons, seeing if they work. On the back line, there's a snipe out. Mirana will go down. Frost, Armlet, Toggling, trying to escape. The Chrono connects onto 2, and that's going to be the Aegis going. 100 seconds without Reincarnate. They can punish this now, as Wraith King has no support. And a turnaround. I mean, you say what the hell's happening? I'll tell you what's happening, Liz. ViCi are putting themselves back in the game.
Yeah, they took down Wraith King, what, 3 times in that fight? Pretty good, pretty well played by ViCi Gaming. They did waste the Shadow Shaman wards and
they used everything.
The Ravage, but at the same time it was for a good cause, because Storm Spirit and Void, they just needed that little bit of extra time to port on the shrine and stab them from behind. Storm instantly takes out Cube out of equation, then Void jumps in with a Void Walk to easily deal with the Winter Wyvern and the Wraith King. I think if you're Winter Wyvern in this game, you need to get some mobility or Aether Lance as soon as possible. You need to be mobile enough to not get chronoed, but also to be near your teammates so that you can use your Cold Embrace and Winter's Curse. If you're in position, this game is much, much easier for the side of Vikings GG.
There's definitely a little slip up in the road, and it cost them dearly. Big net worth swing back towards Eve and Stevens here after they built up a nice 6k lead.
Ori, there is Orchid plus Nullifier.
Mini Doom.
But
has he got the damage?
no
I don't know if he has. Maybe with an H wrap, but there's the save from DY on point.
That's no TP.
Panic mode. He's like, give me some assistance. Mastermind's coming in right now. Split up, connects on the 2. The turnaround opportunity, the arrow through as well, not even needed because PYW is hitting the deck as well. And they'll be able to take the tier 2 after taking 3 heads of ViCi.
Got him. And Viking GG showing up, man, in this game. Playing really well against ViCi Gaming. After they lost that first match, they're definitely performing much, much better, and their draft is allowing them to do so. And look at this push. They push so fast with the Lash, with the Diabolic Edict. This tower is going to fall in a matter of seconds. Storm has no buyback. Shadow Demon has no buyback. That's not only the tower, that's the Raxes.
The Shaman, he just brought back. That's a long time in silence. 70 seconds without a main source of control for you. Luckily, there's still a tier 2 in the mid, so they won't take more.
It's a little bit difficult to run through their base and go straight towards the top tier 3. So instead of doing that, they move back, they outpush top, perhaps catch Void.
No, he gets down range.
Yeah. Bone 7 was stuck in the trees actually right there.
Yeah, he could have came from the top, right, and been very close to the Void to begin with.
Usually when you're a Furion, you want to make other people stuck in the trees. You don't want to root yourself, but you know, Bone 7 sometimes forget which side he's playing for. And
he's a tree daddy. He's got to keep a good relationship with the trees themselves, and they'll only follow his orders if he's
as long as he spawns trees. That's all he cares
Exactly.
about. As long as he makes some trees. Happy little trees everywhere.
He's not going to make insane amounts. There's no plans for Ag because we are getting full right click at this rate. I mean, he's had that Blink Dagger Q for a long time, but he's like, Silver Edge. Silver Edge is the way. Because then he can even kill the Watermelon Man himself. With the combo of the Mini Doom plus the Silver Edge break.
I wouldn't mind seeing some utility from him at this point at least.
No, this is a bone show.
He's going for the bone show indeed. He's just going for solo pickoffs everywhere. And you could see even on that Storm, he brought him down quite low. It wasn't enough just from him, but a BKB I think would be really good for him as the next item.
Yeah, he's already queued it up now. Meanwhile, on Wraith King land, AC makes sense, benefits the Nature's Prophet, especially with this build. And a smoke movement coming in. As you do have that blink on Frost, initiation should be fairly easy. But look at this positioning from ViCi.
Yeah, there's a BKB completed on
Arrow.
now.
All right, Xiao Yu's in that mode. They're in trouble. DY, he's fairly far forward. They ping him out straight away. No Arrow, he'll go for the TP out, but he can't make it. Yours is there. The Hex are trying to slow down Wraith King, but they're ready. And DY is very ready. Blood everywhere, in fact.
It doesn't matter, though. It's when you die like that as a Shadow Demon, you broke their smoke, you broke their surprise effect pretty much. Your teammates are back, and as long as no one else gets caught out, you're happy that it's only
you will lose another tower, though. Which is worrying because what this now does, when you think about what happened last time when they were on your high ground, you've given Viking a point where if you lose one fight, they take the entire base now.
Top lane Ori. Oh, they messed up.
Oh. It's okay. There's an arrow and stuff and not enough stuff, so Ori says see ya.
He has Yules as well. They couldn't kill him after they messed Nullifier. They need Nullifier to take down Storm. He has Yules to deal with the Orchids. So you just need to let Furion initiate first, or at least not stack the Yules plus the Nullifier.
Slight mishap. Won't hold them back too much. Roche up potentially in about a minute and a half. And I like that they're just fixating this high ground again. Viking like, we've got vision down here. We can farm here in the meantime. Just force ViCi to the bottom side of the map, far, far away from the pit, so they're not prepared. Actually, you can already see the stretch of the map because this is a game where we got Boots of Travel on Mastermind. So they're able to get away with this. They have so much global presence on the side of Viking.
He had it like Travels quite a long time ago. He bought it just because he's playing with the Furion. Furion can set up anywhere on the map and then you can follow up with Lash. It's a really good item to have.
And that's the thing, right? With the Mirana Roma as well, it just allows you to be anywhere and everywhere. Global presence is important. It's a big reason why Ember Spirit is probably the most sought after core at the moment.
On the right side of the map, we have 4 members of ViCi Gaming just playing in their own jungle. But now they have to TP back towards top, as it's probably the best time to take back your jungle, your triangle, as Roche is about to spawn.
Oh, and Cube just went bot for... There's no runes.
Now he went bottom because Furion was about to port for Ori.
Well, yeah,
so he's
Ori.
pretty much just providing backup, that's all.
But they'll realize where Ori is. This should be the moment where he just TP's out. Yeah, they're a little bit too late.
Yeah. It's a bit too late. You can understand the plan. The execution just wasn't there. It wasn't on point. Bone 7 was hesitating a little bit to TP in. But he should be more active as... I mean, he should be using his port more freely as he has that Blink Dagger to work with. You have Blink, you have Nullfire, you have Orchid. You can definitely take down a Storm and TP a little bit further away from him. He won't see that coming.
And if you want to make that play, maybe just set up some of the classic Tinker Wards, right? Because they work against
That's also a good
Storm
idea. Yeah, that's also a good idea. Tinker Wards versus a team that's split pushing you is always good. They are always good. Also, Roshan has spawned, so some wards around this pit could be good too.
That's the problem. You let your eye off the ball for a moment, you surrender that high ground, and as a result, with Roshan now being up, ViCi are in with a chance to find you here. They do have the big ultimates after all.
Yeah, and ViCi Gaming, like, they did lose a couple of fights, but they're not out of this game for sure. You have the Vlads and Solar Crest on Tidehunter. He will bring a lot of utility to Faceless Void, who
here
has...
comes the clash. Frost blinks in, pretty aggressive straight away. DY tanks the arrow. Will go down for it. Xiao, you try to get in the way, but you can't. You also get him out of the fight. Shadow Demon with the buyback. He has a long way to walk. And Frost will back off. They got the Serpent Wards out the side of ViCi. That's one of their big ultimates down.
Yeah, Void was thinking about using that Chrono. He had multiple chances to use it, but you can't, as you don't see Winter Wyvern. The moment Winter Wyvern is in vision for Storm to jump on, then you can actually think about using that Chrono offensively on some Leshrac or Wraith King even.
This is why we've seen a few teams, when they see a Void come out, they go for the double count of Shadow Demon and Wyvern, because there's so much for you to do, it's impossible. And just Wyvern alone is achieving so much. Flash on point in this game so far.
On point with runes as well, as he finds the double damage. He also has a massive Pydas, which he will use now on the Carti, getting closer to that AC. 4,000 gold in stash for him.
The pings. Ravage comes out straight away to Mastermind. Hexed up and shackled from long range. They should be able to bring him down.
Got him.
Now the jump in. They've got Chrono opportunity. Connects on the two. Looking on the bone. Went for this last cannon build, but the Con Brace protects him. They see what the Winner's Curse is going to throw it out now. They'll look to reset because the buyback from Mastermind. Buyback from Cube as well. Disruption. Hides one, but Tidehunter now in trouble. He has no Ravage to protect himself. Time Walk to get one out. But because of that fight, yes, you get the buyback, but you just surrendered the pit. BKB, Eurus, needs to escape. Time Walk after the big crit, and will TP away. It looks like he'll be successful in doing so, but you just gave up Aegis and Cheese.
Most likely you did. Yeah, most likely you did give up Aegis and Cheese. You can't fight them. There's a double damage on the Wraith King Desolator. Your Tidehunter could buy back, but now he spends his gold instead, finishes the pipe.
And what's the point?
And, I mean, you did force the buyback on Lesh, which is something. It's not horrible. So
but it's not really a win condition now that he's going to have an Aegis, right?
Now that he has an Aegis, it's definitely not a win condition, at least in the next 5 minutes, right? Until it expires. So they have to chill a bit. They have to play the split push pick-off game. They used quite a lot of their resources. They used the Chrono, the Ravage, pretty much everything.
This defense will definitely be hardless. And well, Viking, they know it. They're not going to let up. They move towards the base immediately. No Chrono for 70 seconds. And even when you've got your tied up, no Ravage for 70 either.
Yeah, they just need to find a way to defend or maybe take down these supports that don't have buybacks any longer. That could be huge for them.
But lockdown is lacking. And Shaman, he's not feeling confident about moving too far forward. Hex comes out into Frost. Silence. Now Nullify as well. Void. Need to get him out of here. Disruption to save his life. They haven't got the stun either. Serpent wants to go down. He moves away with the Time Walk. Now the Dragon on the Mastermind, trying to get rid of that life as they've already expended Wraith Kings. He backs up. Mastermind gets protected by the Cold Embrace. Hex brings down the Aegis. They're holding ViCi, making this happen. They ping out. They want to try for a kill here. Arrow to protect him. Does get rid of Shadow Demon for the moment, but now they're moving the Axe Smash. Mastermind is not master over life, only over death. And Eris chasing out, looking for more, but that's immediate back. If I can say we're done here.
I think I'd call Storm master of that here. Or maybe this Void who's chasing Wraith King in the river. Wraith King dies the second time. He had the cheese there to work with, but why waste it? You're most certainly dead anyway. And this is a problem. Like, you have that Aegis, you have that cheese, but you don't have buyback on Lash. And if he does manage to die twice, suddenly you're playing without a Lash for the 70 seconds, which will allow ViCi Gaming to completely take over the Dari jungle, perhaps push a couple of tier 2s as well. And yeah, the team fight, you'd think, you think Viking GG should win it because there's no big spells on the side of ViCi Gaming. That's true, but when you're pushing high ground, it's very difficult to go for these kills without actually getting a couple of pickoffs first. Storm zips in, goes to Fountain, zips in, goes to Fountain. He deals way too much damage, or he just destroyed them.
And you jump the gun because of that window that was mentioned, right? Where there's no Ravage, no Chrono. In reality, if those things are online, Viking would have fallen back to their base strategy. You push in all the lanes, and you split them across the base. But because they don't do that, they focus all their efforts on one location and make the defense so simple for ViCi.
That's definitely very well put. It happens so many times, like a team is just way too eager to take their advantage, you know, and just exploit it to the fullest. And usually you become way too greedy in those situations, and that's exactly what happens here. I can't blame them. Having Aegis, having Cheese, and knowing that they don't have any big ultis, you expect to be able to take something away, but not only tier 3. Sadly for them, ViCi Gaming, they're just a strong team, such a strong team, especially when it comes to defending high ground, that they know exactly what they have to do, and they did it. They executed marvelously well there. Storm Spirit and also Shadow Shaman playing that really well. With that, Aether Lance is able to shackle people a mile away, just keeps you disabled forever.
It's kind of that conundrum when you're like, I am in control. But the fact you have to keep telling me you're in control means that you're worried about something. And because they put themselves on the clock, Viking get punished and things calm down. They still have a net worth lead, but there is a concern because Mastermind, it's not as bad as last game, but he's fallen behind all the other cores again. By a decent margin. And when you get to the super late game, what have you got on ViCi? You know, you got this Storm Spirit and this Void. What's your comparison on Viking? Wraith King and a Nature's Prophet, who we've seen can be blown up in an instant because he is basically a glass cannon. He doesn't have his braces anymore, this.
Yeah, he sold his braces. They took away his bracers. And now he's not nearly as strong as before when it comes to sustain. Has none of that utility that we talked before too. But if you get something like an Abyssal on Wraith King or a Hex on Furion, suddenly you have that burst damage as well and control.
That I have you now moment.
Exactly, you can catch them off guard. You can kill off Storm or this Void fairly easily. The only problem is the Lincolns that Storm has bought again. Ori definitely likes this item.
Yep, can use it for himself. Most likely in this game he will, but he could use it for the Void if need be as well. Especially if you're going to lead the way, because remember, what has been stopping Void from fighting? Winter's Curse. What do you do when he BKBs? You win his Curse, but not if there's a Lincolns on him in this game. So that might be the play. Look how deep you are on the Winter Curse here himself. Flash, he's waiting for something.
Could have used a Shadow Demon there to take him down, but then you were wasting that ulti.
Alright, this is an abort. Get the hell out. See you later, guys. Done my part. I'm going to flap my wings and fly away.
You probably want to have Wraith King up front to eat that...
Arrow gets dodged out by the Time Warp forward. The Chrono's going to be there. The Sprout, they're interrupting the Yours as well. The Ravage fell off. Used on the Wyvern, everything to kill off Flash. Insta buyback. He drops a gem on the ground. Now on the side, Silence coming out. Looking for the target, but can they get him?
He's dead.
No,
Storm
he's going
is
to
gone.
get him. Storm is down. Ori out for the count. The buyback's coming in. Prophet looking to get involved with the fight again. And Mastermind chases down with the BKB. Finds PYW. Blink away. All the way away from Frost, but the chase is through. The Nullifier is out. Shadow Demon slowed down. The Ray Fire Blast follow up as well. He's going to hit the deck. He doesn't have buyback.
Shadow Shaman buybacks, but there isn't really a whole lot that he can do. I think they will force the Storm to buy back too, as this is a high ground defense that they have to make.
Can
there we go.
They do it again. I'm not sure. They haven't got the wards this time around. Hex coming out. Wraith King being slowed down a little bit, but he has the Reincarnate. And Bone has joined the fray.
They don't have the wards. They don't have Chrono. They don't have Ravage.
We've seen this too often. We've seen ViCi pull off miracles. This will be the hardest moment of the game for them, as Frost is relentless in his attacks on these buildings.
Arrow,
Void! Yes, that's the win for them, but they can get him. He has got buyback, but he can't afford to go down like this. Not like this, not this way. He'll be able to move away.
Yeah, they
Anchor
just
Smash
don't have
saves the day.
Damage versus that Butterfly, and they're forced back, but they got what they came for. They took second side away from ViCi Gaming, and Viking GG, they're keeping us on the edge of our seats. As
what will happen next, Liz?
Really well. Yeah.
Anything could happen next. You know what will likely happen next is Roche. In a minute and a half, it could be up. And when it is, here is the critical moment in this game, because ViCi Gaming will have all their big ultimates.
What likely is going to happen is Ori is going to cry real hard that he bought Lincolns instead of BKB. I think that BKB would be amazing for him. or maybe he can get BKB and Lincolns, as he has that BKB queued up next.
But because he wants to win, he will not drop his Lincolns on the ground and deny it.
Maybe to prove a point.
No, this isn't Fighting Pandas.
Just prove a point.
This is ViCi here. Composed team. Organized team. You said they're like a family. Friendship. They must work together to overcome the power of Viking. And Viking right now, well, they definitely got the gonads in a vice. This is not an easy situation for ViCi, especially when you consider the buyback status.
The way they went, like the way ViCi Gaming went into that fight around their shrine, it looked like they knew exactly what they're doing. And it did start off well, that Chrono to kill off Winter Wyvern, Ravage connected on multiple heroes, and then they could fight afterwards. But the problem was Ori, he jumps so deep, he gets his Lincolns popped, and he gets silenced before he's actually used the ball lightning again.
The arrow was just the nail in the coffin as well. And now Ori is leading the charge. Smoke movement. They want someone to connect on, and Bone, he did buy back, so you can't get caught out like this. The pings come out, he'll back away. They need to reset, reposition, because Vikings still have control of the high ground here. Yep. It's going to be a long spawn. 3 minutes until Roshan is up.
Yeah, they see Ori, so they don't really stay on that high ground any longer. Instead, they use Vanish, they use Mirana's Moonlight Shadow, and then they move towards bottom bounty runes, where they expect someone to come.
Oh, Ori. He's not going to fall for it, he says. He'll go for the TP out. The cube doesn't have the arrow, doesn't have the vision. As he went a little bit too far. He did have the Yules primed and ready, but of course there's that Lincolns you have to pop as well.
Yeah, so at the same time, Rasta took the other bounty and TP'd away. So they wasted a lot of Viking GG's time, and at the same time, they managed to snatch a bounty rune. But another smoke from Viking GG.
Yeah, they just saw Xiaoyu in the mid, and they know there has to be someone behind him. The pings come out about PYW. You are fighting into the high ground, but you know how split they are.
He sees Storm. This could be huge for them. He has no buyback, remember.
Ori.
He's working with that. Oh.
Arrow! And he connects! That's the condition. They could get him right now. They're going to follow up. There's going to be split on. Trying to save him. Nice dodge out. Disruption from Shadow Demon saves the day. Ori escapes. DY salutes his teammate as he falls to the ground dead. Now, moving in. Yoris. Not sure what he wants to hit up onto here. Frost not the optimal target. He's trying to force the Chrono out of him. He's like, hit me, hit me. Gonna be an arrow out. Has got the Satanic to help him, but the Splitter follow-up controls him on the side. Ori goes in, trying to go in for the Nullify, dodging him out. Now the Chrono onto the Wyvern. We'll find him this time. Chase through. They've still got the Ravage to work with. Frost gonna go down for the first time, but the armor toggle is good. That's the fight. Ravage comes out. Mastermind will fall as well. Dead and gone out for the count. And Frost, he comes back up into a mess. No work in his favor. No one to help him. You can armlet toggle all you want, but you'd have to be armlet toggling for a good minute and a half.
Yeah, 3 of them are dead on the side of Viking GG. They do have 2 buybacks, and on the side of ViCi Gaming, they have no buybacks on their supports. But still, man, ViCi Gaming, they're just surprising me every single time they take these fights versus Vikings, as they execute them so well. This time around, the Nullifier does not connect on Storm, and that's one of the reasons why he survives for so long, why he's able to go back to base, heal up, rejoin the fight, take care of business, just destroy Leshrac together with that Ravage of Tidehunter.
More importantly, DUI though. Like
exactly.
This is why this hero is so popular.
Shadow Demon definitely made that all work. Like if Shadow Demon is not there in position to save Storm, none of that happens. He pretty much just saved them the team fight.
The good news, if you're Viking, is there's a potential that ViCi can't kill Roche quick enough. While you are late game, there's a small window when they can get into that pit and kill Roche. And they do not have their big ultimate, so it is incredibly risky for ViCi to do this. And it's the longest spawn they can imagine. 10 more seconds to go, which means you have 15 seconds to burst down Roche.
Void knows that it's about to spawn, so he's in the pit. He gets arrowed too.
He naps for a bit. He has this panic, doesn't last long. Or he's hunting.
There we go.
Heroes is going for it. They need to get the heroes here. Flash is nowhere nearby.
They can go for this Sages, but it is difficult as everyone is respawning on the side of ViCi Gaming. However, Roche will die by the time anyone
They're not in position at all.
Yeah.
Arrow, Tide tanks it. He plays a game of fetch with it, in fact, and keep. Purge tries to jump in, grab something. Instead, he's going to feed over a gem. No.
Oh, that.
Of course, it's lag. It's got to be lag.
Though. I mean, Cube is already dead.
Yep.
And they see Winter Wyvern. They can go for him as well. Does Cube have buyback? He does. So
it's one of those awkward moments, right? Because Flash doesn't want to TP to the shrine because he wants to keep open to his cores who are respawning, but that means he's never going to make it there in time.
Void also just got another Aghanims. That's pretty good for him. He's the one that picked it up.
And now those chrono into missed opportunities afterwards are no longer going to be there. Instead, you're going to lose a hero,
Flash.
chase through, time dilation on the flash, has to use the winner's curse and run for the high hills. But this, oh, this is falling apart for Viking. Apparently their PCs are falling apart as well.
Falling apart, exactly. As Mastermind disconnects, they said they have some lag issues. Yeah, but they were completely, Vikings, they were completely in control of this game. But then ViCi Gaming somehow just outplays them around that high ground of theirs, around that shrine of theirs a couple of times. First, the defense that they put up against the Aegis and the Cheese was really incredible. Very well played by Ori. Then they lose again a fight in their own woods. Also because of Ori. He jumps in, gets nullified, orchided. But after that, he learned his lesson. We haven't seen that mini Doom on him at all, the Orchid plus Nullifier, as he's able to just zip around. And it's not really easy thing to accomplish versus a Storm. Like, nullifying and Orchiding him, he's most likely going to be able to either pop the BKB Yules or zip around before that projectile connects.
I think the way that we're going to assess these games at these rate, it's amazing that ViCi's done this with an item that is not really desired much at the moment, is the name of this series should be How to Lincolns, because now 2 games in a row, it's been the Fawn in Viking side, right? For a while, Void was very paranoid about his chronos, but there's always Lincolns now. He doesn't care as much about the winner's curses. Same for the Storm Spirit. And last game, we saw it on the Lina, picked up to enable her carry. In Viking, they just get stopped dead in their tracks every time by that item.
Who's not stopped dead in his tracks is Leshrak. Mastermind is back, and he wants to play some more, but Cube says, no, wait. Want to chill a bit. I need some more.
He wants to he wants to negotiate the gem.
No, I'm not.
He's like, guys, if I give you Flash, will you give me the gem back?
Mastermind is dead again. Never mind. He's out.
Okay. It's okay. He's hard to kill when he gets back, though. He does have an Aeon Disc and a BKB. The bad news is that in 20 seconds, Eurus is going to have a chrono, and then he'll have it every 60 seconds afterwards.
Yeah, there's definitely difficulties that they're about to face, and I'm not talking about lag and their PCs, but we'll see just how much they'll be able to do. Surprised that there's no Abyssal from Wraith King, but yeah, considering you're playing versus this Butterfly, they just had no damage versus the Void. For the longest time, they couldn't take him out of the equation because they just don't hit him. They just miss everything. So MKB is definitely a good option.
That's the thing. He took the backtrack talent. Like, this is the most frustrating thing imaginable for you.
Backtrack plus the Butterfly feels bad. Yeah, that AoE talent for Chrono can be really good, but sometimes it just feels like it's hurting you more than it's benefiting, right? Like,
yeah, when you got heroes like Storm, especially, right?
Exactly. Your allies can't hit. Some of your teammates get clipped by it too. Like,
I like to call that the "it's all about me" talent, right? In your pub games, you want everyone to know that you're the big man with the 5-man chrono. The problem is you get all of your 4 teammates in it as well, so it's a 10-man chrono. Makes for an interesting game. And, well, Viking are trying to drag this one out to the hour mark if you technically count in the pauses. But hopefully we'll have them back soon. And you got to look at what the next big play is. What is the big opportunity for Viking to bounce back? There's a lot of goals sitting on that Wraith King. You mentioned the MKB. I think that's locked in. There's no really any other option he can go for in this game right now. Wyvern, you haven't got buyback for a minute and a half, and I'm pretty sure ViCi is going to be on your high ground by then. So if you can pick up a blink before then, great. But you just used a Winter's Curse that's now on cooldown for 75 seconds.
Yeah, that Winter's Curse is a big spell that they have wasted right now, but he needed to get out.
Die.
He doesn't have buyback, so...
I mean, he could still die because Void, he took that time walk range. He can reach him in 1 second.
There's Storm. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of mana, but he will regen it up in a matter of seconds, and then he can pursue too.
I mean, you could literally just cheese bull in because you know that this kill is worth it if need be. But yeah,
I don't know if it's worth the cheese.
Like, if you see Mastermind though,
Mastermind has Aeon Disc, has BKB, Yules as well.
Still killable. You got a Void.
Definitely with the Void, definitely killable. The good thing though, let's look at the silver lining for Viking
Shaman's
PG.
not there.
Shaman's not there, and Furion. You have Furion versus
can be anywhere.
he can be anywhere, and you have 2 lanes down with the Furion, so it's always easy, very easy to rat and pressure that throne, and maybe that's what you can play around. The only problem is there's Storm against you, and usually he's one of the best heroes to punish Furion rats.
There's loads of easy ways, right? Think about the Shaman, 4-staff, Aether Lens. He can catch you out just as quickly as you can catch him. It's going to be one of those ironic who is the cat and who is the mouse in the game of cat and mouse. And there's no one else that can really make that play. Sure, Mastermind could TP down, but you don't double the risk in one lane. Maybe you send one in each lane. The problem that I just see here is if ViCi reach that base down the mid lane, they're just going to look to end the game right now. All right, so it looks like we've got some technical issues, so we'll talk you through what's happened so far today. ViCi, they've had mixed games, but after taking the first game here against Viking, in this second game, things have taken an awkward turn of events. I thought we might continue a 1-1 trend, but this is starting to swing in favor of ViCi. In fact, if I just consult the win probability, this one, Liz, could go either way. 53%.
It definitely can go either way. I think that ViCi Gaming, I mean, with Cheese, with Aegis, with Aghanim's on Void, they're definitely in a comfortable driving position when it comes to this game. They're controlling it. It's on them to throw it or win it pretty much. Like Viking.gg, I have to say something though. This team has surprised me really nicely, like in a very positive way. These players have been around forever. You've seen them in EU pubs and EU tier 2, tier 3 teams, but they never really managed to do a whole lot.
No.
And EU scene is really difficult to get out from. And now when these couple of good tier 1 teams have taken a break, I love that these players are getting a chance. Like Bone 7 back on LAN, Cube on a LAN, you know, Flash. We don't really ever see these guys on a LAN, you know, very, very rarely. So unless it's some WSG, like some Nations Cups and stuff.
Yeah, so some of the nations rep pretty well. I love it. Like the thing that we're seeing here right now is some potential here. I like that Viking have their own meta that they because especially I think it's around the off lane is where I say they have their own meta.
You're Bone 7, of course you have your own meta.
You know it's about you. You know you're a star off lane. You're like,
you know,
guys, I see what 33 gets spoiled on. I want to be spoiled like
You know what's really interesting though? Bone 7 is still playing the same heroes that he played such a long time ago.
Some people say stubborn. I like to think of him as the classic hipster, okay? He knows it's going to come back. Everything comes full circle eventually in Dota. You're just waiting for your opportunity to win TI.
Ah, so he was just waiting for these heroes that were broken 5 years ago to be broken again.
Batrider will be back soon. Hopefully Mastermind as well.
Batrider is soon, though.
Well, he's been. Just a short while ago, he was here, and now he's gone on nap time. Okay, because you know you want utility now out your offlaners, whereas he's that classic example of I'm gonna kill someone.
Some teams love to play it still. Like some players also love that bat. It depends. Like it's a problem to have that bat now that Legion is so popular, as she just counters him really well, but.
You just want utility, and the mints of the game right now is your offlane usually does get thrown under the bus to an extent, right?
The best way to counter a player is to break his PC, right? But it looks like Mastermind did manage to fix that issue.
They activate his trap card. Exactly. He has reconnected, and I believe we are about ready to get underway. PYW, the one interesting enough saying sorry, even though it was Mastermind's. Maybe, no, that's him saying sorry for rigging your PC.
Yeah,
now Flash,
he was like, he's actually saying sorry to his teammates. He wasn't able to break completely.
Jarman, that's a perfect snipe out. Bones says see you later.
And BKB TPs away. You
look away for a moment.
You look away for a moment, and there's a mini Doom on you, Nullifier plus Bloodthorn, and if you're a Shadow Shaman, you have to be aware of that possibility when you're out pushing. What's really good is that it forces them to be a little bit more passive. No wards in this push as well.
Although yours is so tanky, even as an AC at this point. How do you deal with him? He might just deal you quickly. Nice dodge, no split off hit. Looking on the Tidehunter instead. The buff comes out and he heals up a little bit though, and it's the Void Show right now. They finally take something from Viking's base, but they back out. They're going to respect this. Like, okay, we have a lead, we've started to build it. We still have that Aegis to play with, and now we can just fall back and take their shrines.
Yep, the tier 3 taken down is definitely important, but they need to even out the sides because they're playing versus a Furion, and they definitely should be looking at one of these high ground pushes very soon. But it's difficult when all the tier 2s are still up.
Yes, and if you're Euros right now, you know what you're doing. You're a late game hero. They're jumping in. They can get him as well. Perfectly set up. Ori awkwardly out of position. So uncharacteristic of him.
Rana ulti just caught him off guard.
And he has no
That's it.
buyback.
They reacted so perfectly well towards that. They don't have buyback on Storm. Now they have to somehow defend their base with just the Void and Tidehunter as cores. It's possible they can do it, but
It's going to be hard though. Even with the Chrono on 60-second cooldowns.
actually, if they get the bounty runes, you see how Tide is pinged
they
out.
can get him. Yep.
But it won't matter because he took the bounty rune and now Storm will
Nullify.
have buyback.
Bone came to party with Void, but this is brave. This is incredibly brave because the Chrono is going to be there. And now the stun coming out onto the Void, trying to buy enough time, but the BKB activate. He wants this kill and Bone 7 will fall. Does have buyback.
Now he's trying to run away, but
His
Frost
BKB's running
is
out.
waiting for him.
Yep. He's baiting into fighting this fight right now. The buyback comes out, split up is there. They have the stuns to bring him down twice here. He needs to be careful. Dead once. Tide has got the Ravage. They're going to move away because of it. They respect this. They know what Xiao Yu wants to do next.
Storm got the buyback too, so if they actually force that fight, Storm could buy back and join it as well.
And it's critical they make those moves because look at the money. Eurus, he's far away from having buyback. If he goes down there, that is GG.
Yeah. But all of that happened because of the bounty runes. ViCi Gaming, they went to take those bounty runes so that Storm can have the buyback back online. And it was worth it for them because it looked like they're in problems.
Xiao Yu, living life on the edge. Brave
can live
King
here, though.
on the edge of his seat, asking for help. BKB chasing deeper. Looks for the stun on a Shaman. They've got a Chrono. They're not going to use it though. Just going to bash him
Not
down.
yet.
One life. Maybe make it two, but the Yule's interrupted. Nice blink. Even deeper. Goes to DY. Looking for the kill. The Chrono on the two as well. Damage in return, but Eurus silenced up. Now the Nullify. Arrow through. Winner's Curse. Used pretty early. They need to actually reposition on this. Mastermind's BKB's running out soon. Split up, but no. Eurus chases with his own BKB. Slowing him down with the Tidehunter. Spitting out on everyone, but there's going to be a TP out. No, the Hex is going to be there. Mastermind, he tries to TP under the nose, but PYW with the gem was feeling confident enough to move forward.
He also has that buyback to work with on the Leshrac, so it's not the end of the world for him. They can perhaps defend the high ground, but it's going to be difficult. That Aghanim's on Void means so much. That's the last rush that gave them the Ags just allows Void to be active constantly, as that cooldown is just, what, 60 seconds on Void? Instantly onto the high ground push, and Chrono up in 13 seconds again.
They're not contesting him right now. Bone says, guys, I'm a nature's prophet. I might be a right-click build, but you know what I do when it gets late? I get ready to push. And Shaman's arriving.
Look at Bone.
Catches him out. Silencer's there. Arrow through, but gets dodged on the side. And Bone 7, he's already brought back. He's going to go down 120 seconds dead. And Void's still in your base.
They're pinging the throne. They're pinging the throne right now. There's no Fury on. They can definitely go for this. However, Leshrac does have that buyback. They don't know that yet, though.
Yules into the arrow. Tidehunter just going to be a little bit frustrated, but Eurus is hitting the building, says let's get those creeps onto the throne as quickly as possible. The buyback from Leshrac comes out.
In the
Jump
back.
on the back line. Frost going in, looking for the opportunity. Winner's Curse is going to come out in the meantime. There's Shadow Direct trying to save himself with that, but DY will go down. Now the Chrono is going to be there. BKB, Mastermind, Yules coming out onto the Void in the meantime. Still the BKB is going to use it at the end. The Ravage follow-up, it's looking good. Going to drag them in, bring them down. Keep's going to die as well, and it looks like they're crumbling. Vikings are not ready for war, as they will fall to ViCi Gaming 2-0 victory for the Chinese team.
Yeah, just a magnificent performance from ViCi Gaming. Even when they were far behind, even when they were against all odds, they were fighting against Cheese, they were fighting against Aegis. It truly did not matter because they can execute these high ground defenses so